Sarvesh, and a brief introduction about me. So, I started my IT career on 2021, and I was working for one organization for more than 4.5 years. It is an multinational company service provider. So, so in service providing industry, I got an opportunity to work as an automation team lead. So I worked corely on Python scripts, working on multiple automation use cases, mainly in the APIs, connecting with the backend of each and every applications, and creating new automation use cases. And I move on to become an team lead, and having 6 developers reporting to me. And I just started working on a kind of a project management. So during this phase, actually, I was able to connect with multiple stakeholders, with support team, clients, everyone, and I just kind of become an interested individual in becoming into the management industry. And now currently, I'm working as a business analyst in another organization. And of course, I took training from Vignesh from Arman Executive Search, and we worked closely a lot of time, and I just ended up over here, and I'm doing good in my career. So that's a brief
Uh,
introduction about me.
that's really good to hear.
Yeah,
Having an experience over some kinds of roles.
yeah, thank you. So, how about you? Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, myself, Harish, I have completed a master's in SRM University in MCA
Okay,
in 2024 passed out. I am 2024 passed out. As soon as I came out of college, I got an opportunity to work as a Python developer in a startup called Corvant Analytics.
okay,
Yeah. So I have worked over three projects. In that the first project was an PhD Academy, which was a Singapore client-based project. In that the project was based on just marking an attendance-based system for the students who are attending classes through online and offline.
okay,
So for that, we myself and my team just developed APIs, and redesigned the whole website. And from our backend side, we gave an uh, like related APIs, whatever the UI asked for.
okay,
In that, actually, that was my first project as an developer. Yeah, during that, in that project, my achievement was over a month of period, I just developed 5 APIs with my senior guidance of my senior.
okay,
Then from an Acrostay, a project named as Acrostay, which is basically an rental management system.
okay,
For example, the core of the project is to find an PGs or rental stays in a particular location. Uh, if we take Anna Nagar in Chennai, we
okay,
could the admin would list out his PGs. If there is 12 to 10 PGs in it, the admin would list out all the PGs in our application. So that the tenants who are searching for PGs and relocating for a new job or career shift, or students who are coming for a college admission, they could easily find out their stays and accommodation without roaming around streets in number of streets.
okay.
So
Interesting.
actually actually it was a company product, and the core idea of the product was given by myself. As we went on a discussion for in a day, myself and there were four developers. Everyone suggested an idea, and at last it was I told the core of an idea. Then my MD just he took over the idea. He took over the proposal as an idea. Then we started this to develop into a product.
Excellent. Good to know.
Yeah. Then comes the project, which is an trackment, which we use for an internal team purpose, which is similar to the application as we all known as linear, which is used to track task management.
Okay,
Okay. Then for this project, I was the core developer, where myself only developed the whole backend. and there was an UI resource. Myself and that UI resource just developed the whole project. So whole backend structure starting from DB design, database connection, then developing basic APIs like such as thread operation. Everything was performed by myself.
Oh,
With
superb.
yeah, this is all just my this is my thing.
Good to know. Like you are like an highly interested to work in technical background, and you also have that necessary skill set. Like I got to know from Vignesh that you highly work with the backend things such as the SQL, Python
Yeah,
scripts, like using mainly from API department. Since I use Python and I closely work with API, I just get to know that you work with Flask API and REST APIs
yeah.
and other stuff. Okay.
Actually, first of all, at the beginning stage, 2 to 3 months, I was really struggling a lot for to overcome what is APIs, and then how does it work. Then if we get for testing, we use Postman, right? So
Yes.
if we get some 404 or 500 error, then where should we check? I was so completely blank.
I
I
can
didn't
understand
understand.
totally. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was I was also from that same situation only. I totally understood. Yeah.
yeah, for like last 3 to 4 months, just I could mainly when the development phase coming for a track meta, I could easily figure out the mistakes I have made. If while hitting a postman, if I get 500 errors, then I could easily just remember, okay, in this place we would have made this mistake, so we should correct this, then it would work fine. So
Okay,
that was
like
very easy here.
when you're telling like you were first struggling about what APIs is and how you used to wonder these errors and so can you just give me like an brief overview, like how an API starts? Like for example, let's consider two applications. This is an application. So this application is
Okay,
something which will be like an service now application. Okay, so here users will be coming up with details which will be completely based upon their requirement. So requirement is coming over here, which will, for example, let's consider an user access management system. This is an application. This is an service now connection. Here details are available. These details needs to move to this particular location. So
okay,
this but in between gap is going to be bridged using APIs, and that's
yeah,
going to be constructed by Python script. Okay, let's imagine this kind of situation. So the service now will have a source system which will be an any form. Might be it's a PDF form. It might be an Excel sheet. It might be an some kind of a form or some direct validation of data which is having the information. Let's say it's considering my name. So I am Sarabesh. First name is Sarabesh, last name Saravana Prabhu. And my experience details, email ID, my phone number, my address, current address, my permanent address, every details has been given over there. I need to move these information to another application using APIs. So this
okay,
is kind of a requirement which I am giving you. So in this case, what you will do first, let us take this application is having APIs. I'll give you the credentials. I'll give you the token URL. I'll give you the URL for each and every table. The user table where you can post the request, get the request, or put patch, whatever operations, CRUD operations, you know, right? Whatever operations you want, you can do. That will be applicable for this. I'm giving you admin level of privilege to that application. Okay. So
okay.
in this situation, what will you do? Like how you are going to handle this, how you are going to take this data, and how you are going to put this into the application, how you will verify that if it is going to be successful or not.
Uh,
You don't need to give me the syntax or detailed explanation of it. Just give me an overview how you will start, how you will construct the logic, how the output will be. I am a user. I am giving one data here. I am need to have this data to another place. So this is one application. This is one application. Source system, target system. So we are going to bridge the gap between these two systems. How we are going
okay,
to bridge it? Just break it down. Start from. I will start from here. I am going to take it over here. I am going to build it in this way, and this is going to end up in this way. Just give me an overview and give me a logic and tell me what Python operation you are going to use and how it's going to helpful for us. Just an overview, not more technical or more syntax wise. I
uh,
don't want it to be more
okay.
thing.
Actually, up to my understanding, I will raise I will tell some things. If I am wrong, in anywhere
No
chatting.
problem at all. You are never wrong. You can just
Okay.
take your guesses. Every answer is the right answers. Just you
Actually,
can
I
just
thought so
speak
you were
freely.
asking for like what would be the initial, how would we start writing an APIs and
No, I'm not asking you to write an API. I have APIs available. Okay, so
okay,
this application is also having API. This application is also having API. It's very simple. You just wanted to bind these both. For binding these both, what you will do, how you are going to start, how you are going to build it, how you are going to end it. So that's the only thing I'm expecting from you. Just an solution approach and how you will do that using Python. Yeah, break the whole process into small steps. Start from step one. Firstly, what you will do. Okay, let me question you one by one. Okay, firstly, we have an application. Okay,
okay,
that application is an source system. There I'm giving all the data, either an Excel, PDF, whatever. I'm giving the data. Those data is available here. Now what you are going to do to take this data? I am giving you the API details. I'll give you the token URL, all the
okay,
user table, attachment table, or whatever the tables I want, I'll give you. You have the endpoints available. You have the
okay,
credentials available. You have an console to write the Python scripts, PyCharm or whatever you are comfortable with. You have that available.
okay.
What will be the first step? What you will do? Now the source system alone. You mentioned what you will start with the source system alone.
That's நமக்கு அந்த payload.
Yes, that's correct only. Yeah. Payload
Okay,
is for creating the user in the new application.
okay.
That will be the
Create,
final step. That
okay.
for creating that payload, what you will do?
Creating a payload, we would get a sorry. First we need to analyze the UI screens. Then UI would give some like if there is a drop down, they would give these are the options. So from the current like related table, we should fetch the data and bring.
No, like let me put it the other way around. So here, this application data is available. Okay.
Okay,
So this data, we need to take the data out. We need to take the
okay.
data outside and have it in a place, and then we need to load the data into a new application. So that's how it's going to be pushed. That's what I'm asking. Like how you're going to do that?
So we can try by get method to retrieve all the data.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, proceed. You're correct. Yeah, carry on.
Using a get method, we can retrieve all the data. And then using update method or sorry from the existing from the existing source we should retrieve all the data using get by IDs or if we need any particular number or any IDs we can use get by ID method. If not, we could use get method for retrieving all the data. After that, using that get all the data to upload into the new resource, a new source, we could use create user, and then we can give the payloads and then give create a user. Then automatically the uh, data which we are creating would be gets saved in the DB.
Exactly. That's what I wanted. Like you know the answer, but you don't know how to frame it. You know
Yeah,
like you work with
actually,
APIs, you work in creation of APIs, but when I say two things, I need to just bridge the gap. You
yeah,
just know the answer, but telling it out loud, you yourself doubt yourself. Like
yeah.
you first
Actually,
start giving the
as you
answer.
told right, I would be even though I faced every day for suggesting every APIs, even though the APIs which have been done by myself, even I would while telling out it loud, I would be like, okay, a question would be suddenly raised in my mind. What would be if I'm wrong? So
No, no,
will
that's
it
what
be
I
correct?
mentioned. Before I ask you a question itself, before I ask any solution, anything, I'm telling you firstly, you are never wrong. Okay, so whatever
Yeah,
in any industry, not only in IT industry or any industry, you are never wrong. Like whenever if you make a mistake or if you try something, then only you will be able to figure out something. If in each and every industry, whatever industry you take, most of the mistakes are only becoming a very big success. Even when you see the old mankind, whenever they first invented fire, they just had the fire aside and they ate the raw meat. You
Yeah,
have
yeah,
heard about that story, right? Unfortunately, that raw meat fell inside the fire. Then they were like, okay, we should not waste this meat, and they took and ate it. They were like,
yeah,
oh, this is much more tastier. Then we can cook. That's how cooking born. So you should
yeah,
first bring it out. Whatever, if even an unknown mistake itself is becoming an invention, then a kind of a known mistake, like if you are trying something and if it is not succeeding, it might end up something much more higher than what currently we are doing. So never ever
yeah,
doubt yourself. If you are coming up with some solution, give something much more better. You might give something new idea which I might be learning from you. You might have said that I
yeah,
a different solution. You might think that I will be just expecting a get and I'll be expecting a post. That's correct answer, and that's what I was expecting. But you might
yeah,
have a different approach. You might tell that, okay, I will do this different operation. I'll take this
yeah,
data, I will load it into a different file. I'll put that file in an directory. I'll put it in GitHub. I'll put an Bitbucket. If you use these kind of terms, it'll be new to me. Okay, we don't
yeah,
need to use just APIs. We can go on with the Bitbucket. We can go on with the GitHub. We can make use of Gen AI. There are a lot of things you can suggest. You are never wrong in any industry, and in our IT industry, the seniors can learn from juniors and juniors can learn from seniors. You can learn from my experience, and I can learn from the new things which you have learned from your either from your college or either from your new way of interest in Gen AI or anything else. So that's how we
yeah,
have to build our mutual understanding process. You should give me something which I haven't known. I have to share you something which you haven't known. So it's just a matter of exploring. So whenever, if I give you situations like this, try to bring up some new things which is more
yeah.
innovative or something. So that's how I usually work. Like whenever, when I went to the automation team, when I was an trainee, when I joined first, I was just working basically with all the seniors, and I was just giving the my inputs, and I was just working with some basic codes and snippets. Later on, they started assigning me things. Usually when you want on a development in an automation solution, whenever you are getting into a use case, they'll be demonstrating it in a way which I demonstrated to you. Like they'll be
Okay.
sharing their screen and they'll be giving an top to bottom flow, like this is how it's going to start, this is
Actually,
how it's going to end.
being in pressure, it would be much more difficult to understand what
Yes,
they mean.
yes, yes, that's how I
Something,
was feeling.
yeah,
Like whenever,
student would really realize, feel like a rocket science. Oh my God, this much of
yeah,
things are
that's
there.
that's actually not that difficult actually. Whenever they are showing something to you, and you are just getting into that and you are trying to understand with them, they'll be much more lenient to you. They'll be making you understand only. They are not going to question you like, I'm telling you this, you don't understand, or
Actually,
those things and all.
even now we can take you literally gave me four kind of solution breaking down into. At last only I could, okay, this is the output, this is the expected output we want. So what should we do? Then only I could even understand the question. Okay, he's asking, this is the format you need, and he need to take it out like this.
Yes, that's because, like, first I gave it in a high level way. I
Yeah,
understood that, okay, you are still confusion. You have some ideas, but you don't know whether my solution will work or not. Then again I
yeah,
broke it down into two parts. Then again you are having some doubts. Then again I broke it down to four parts. Then you are able to figure out, okay, this is be the correct solution, let me post it. When I said it first itself, you would have suggested in your own mind that, okay, might be this get request can work or not, but should I
yeah.
tell this get request or not? Might be it will be correct or wrong. No, 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 don't think about that. You can tell.
Actually, that was the question I raised. It's related to any APIs or not? Because I thought, okay, he's expecting something related to API, but I definitely am not sure that either you are expecting the like methods which we write, or that APIs or the files like controller routes or models you are expecting. So I was not clear. So that
Yeah,
only.
that's correct only. Actually, the reactions you gave and the way you got the inputs which I gave you and the way you constructed the solution and which you gave me, everything is fine. Actually, that's how
Yeah,
we need to learn. That, like, this is not an interview, or this is not an
yeah, yeah, yeah,
test I am giving you, or it's not like I'm a manager who is going to give you deadlines tomorrow and I want the output tomorrow itself. It's like a mutual learning session for us both. So in this scenario, when you tried it, you cracked it. Even though if you tried it and you couldn't crack it also, that's not an issue at all. You will be able to get multiple approaches, and if you give all those approaches, I'll take it up and I'll figure it out, okay, if this approach is going to work or not. That's why I gave you multiple options also.
Yeah.
GitHub or Bitbucket or GenAI, everything will work for this. You are always free to suggest everything, not just one solution for one problem. There will be multiple
Yeah.
solutions for one problem, and for multiple problems also there can be one solution. So
Yeah.
here in our automation team, when I worked, I was also similar to you only. I was very hesitant to work starting. Then later on, when I started for more than 2 to 3 years, I was working on multiple solutions, and I was like familiarized with all the technology. Like it's mostly on the application APIs. It's mostly on the Python scripts which I'm going to write on email, sending emails, Python script to connecting with SharePoints, Python script to connecting with ServiceNow, with Salesforce, with multiple applications. So email monitoring mailboxes. I'm familiarized, and I am also in a way that, okay, let me improvise the solution. Not only the manual approach. It's like manually I open an application, I download the data, I
Yeah.
open a new application, I upload the data, I open a mailbox, I just type the email, send it to the user. That's just common, like, like
Yeah.
we no need to just replicate the same manual process what we do. So automation, from I'm just sharing my experience. Like in automation team, what I do is I improvise that process, not only replicating the whole process. I just improvise the process and give a solution which is much more scalable. It should be useful for the next set of automations, which is either been in the same API process or it's a different process or something. Also, it should be useful. It should
Yeah.
run in an faster time. It should have very less memory. It should be very easy to understand when someone is seeing from outside. I should be thinking in this much point.
Yeah.
Gradually, when we are growing higher and higher in the hierarchy in an organization, we have to be very concerned about these things, and we have to take all these things into our account, and we should take the ownership of this. We should think from all these point of view, and then I have to develop the solution. When entering into my fourth year, there were juniors who are freshers, and they are starting to learn. So now when they are learning, I need to be in a way that I need to think from their shoes. When I was a trainer and I was a trainee, when I started as a trainee, how I would question a manager. At that time, he will never lose his calm. He'll be very calm and composed, stating each and every line. Each and every time he'll explain the logic. But it's very important that you should not ask a single question twice. You
Yeah.
can ask multiple questions, 100,000 lakhs, crores of questions you can ask. But same thing, when I'm explaining you something, or if not only me, if it's anyone from any situation or any concept, make high attention, take all inputs. At that moment itself, have everything clarified. If I am telling you something and if you're not understanding, you can clarify it multiple times. Same for the trainers also. When they are joining as a trainee, they keep asking me some questions again and again. I'll be giving solutions to them repeatedly. But at one point of time, they understood that, okay, this is the ask. This is how we have to work. This is how the project works. They go on to that, and they started to work with that particular flow itself. And I became an area where I'll not be touching any code. I'll not be having any hands-on hard code coding. i'm
Just
going to just
monitoring.
I'm just going to just give them the work, show them the path. If they face any hurdles, or if they are any new to a technology, I'll explain them. If the technology is new to me, I sit together, I learn with them, I understand, and we just frame the solution. Either they
Okay.
give an idea and we take it up, or I give the idea and they take it up, or we both discuss and come into a common idea. So this is how I worked on the whole environment. So
Okay.
this, I'm not mentioning that your career progression will also be like this,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
when I worked in my organization, they treated me in this way, and I had a lot of opportunity to become a lead, an
Yeah.
automation team lead within a 4 years. I don't know whether everyone will get this opportunity.
Yeah, actually, I was quite surprised. I was thinking, why not he have become a lead in 4 years, he's telling, but some of my seniors are known persons are just taking 16 or 12 years even though, but still they are defined as a senior developer or something like that.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
totally the exposure I got here in my organization, and totally the luck and every factors which is in place here. But some of them will be who are my colleagues who onboarded with me, they are not interested in taking up these kind of management or leading loads. They just wanted to stay as a developer. I'm not
Actually,
telling that's
leadership,
wrong. That's an also
leadership
good
quality
quality.
is, yeah, leadership quality is not depend by every person. Only
That's correct.
some people could suit that.
More than shooting, you need to have that interest, and you need to have that area of interest. Like, if now considering, if you want to see yourself in a leadership role, in a management role, or in a hardcore developer, even 30 years of experience people are still developing. They are
Yeah,
developing with the latest technology. Initially they would have started with COBOL, Fortran, and then they would have moved to C, then to C++, then they would have come to Java, then they would have come to .NET, then from .NET to Python, then from Python to React, React JS, React Native, then from Android Studio, then they would have come to Gen AI with Copilot, with every latest technology with GitHub. Meta is offering Gen AI. They will be working as a hardcore developer, even in Microsoft, in Google, in Meta,
yeah,
in Amazon. Everyone will be an experienced developer. So that's how they choose their interest. So firstly, we should understand like how you want to see yourself. Like, you're going to be a developer or a management or an lead, or what's the interest which will be seeing you in an long term. How will be your long term goal?
yeah. Oh, are you pushing
I'm
me?
questioning you. How you want to see
Okay.
yourself?
I actually myself I need to see as a as of now development is okay, but after quite some years of experience, I would prefer management roles such as like you business analyst or project management roles or so and so
Technical
because
lead and something like that.
yeah,
Yeah. Solution architect, technology architect. Not
yeah,
necessarily you need to go into the business domain or into the project management domain. There are, even if you're a technical person, since you have already worked with a lot of technical stuff, and you have an hardcore experience with directly working with high level leadership, such as your MD and people like that, and
yeah,
you have provided a lot of innovations, there's a high scope that you can go into the technical part. And I see a high interest in you that you work in the Python scripts or with the backend or everything. Even though you are a kind of a guy who is working in the backend, even I suggest you that you can take up the front end courses, like even HTML, CSS,
yeah.
JavaScript will be helping for you.
Actually, during my experience, this React developer was he was on leave for a month, so there was a lack of developer
The
in
front
front
end.
end. So, yeah, so they just told me to frame a structure. Then just they told to design and develop the basic structure. We would enhance it much more better. So I just did that too. So I am bit aware of React too.
That's great
Uh,
actually. You need to, if you are interested in the front end, back end, full stack development, there is an, like for me, I am from an mechanical background, from an engineering
yeah,
graduate. And out of interest, of course, I do have an background in computer science in ninth and 10th, and I have also have a computer science background in 11th and 12th. I do have basic knowledge in computer science in over the past few years. So once I entered into the IT industry, I shined in IT industry. I did not like quit coding without liking industry, or without, I couldn't do it. I was like, it's an area I had a good experience.
yeah,
From then on, I wanted to move to an area where I wanted to be much more interested, which is in the management domain. That too, now I
yeah,
am currently working as an bridge between a technical team and a non-technical team. So technically, I will be still working with a lot of technical people
yeah.
with these APIs and other things and all. As a business analyst also,
You
still
would
I will be a
get
technical person
more
only in
experience.
that point. So in my situation, I choose this path. Of course, you can choose this path also, but
Okay.
I can see a very great potential in you to become a full stack developer. And full stack developer, it will be very interesting to work with multiple sectors. Like, I'll give you an example. One
Okay.
of my friends, he's currently working in an sector where you work with the neurogenics, which is our brain cells. You know, Elon Musk,
Okay.
he's
No,
working with
yeah.
Neuralink.
That's
You would have
electric
been
vehicle
aware, like,
ahead. Yeah.
that's correct. So Neuralink, that's directly inserted into your brain, and that signals is getting processed.
Okay.
But if you see, there are multiple options. Like, you can get your brain signals by keeping an device like a kind of a helmet that will
Yeah.
be
Okay.
getting your brain signals. And that raw output, that raw output can be given in any format. You can just operate your keyboard, you can operate your mouse, you can switch on your fan, turn off your light. There are multiple things which can be done using your brain signals itself, directly from your brain.
Yeah.
So if you have interest, you can explore that area. See, if you are capturing a brain signal, how that brain signal is converted into an electricity or some signal which is going to turn off your light, turn on your fan, or control your fan speed, how it's
Yeah.
going to operate with your keyboard mouse, how it is going to interact with your computer systems, how it's going to activate your audio video, if it is in the gaming technology, how that is going to happen. So that's all connected from the end-to-end development, which is from a full stack developer interest. So now you are working in a backend with database, you already have exposure with React. So you are binding an whole application to become a full stack developer in the IT industry. That's very, 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 very high potential and high interest which you are currently pursuing. So see, this is an area where you can explore multiple technologies such as the brain signal processing, and that's just an example I'm giving. You can sit and explore how brain signals are processed, how
Yeah.
digital signals are processed, how your electronic signals which is being received from another device is captured from another device, how a mobile is captured inside a laptop, how a laptop signals is captured to mobile, how our headset work, how wireless headset work, how smart headset work, how smart glasses work. Like if you see Meta's recent update, like
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg has released an Oakley glass, which is a complete smart glass. If you wear
Okay.
the glass and if you just operate it, it will be giving a lot of information and you will be able to see that.
Okay.
Not just an VR
As
glass.
like we are the device, but a VR
It's
glass.
a normal sunglasses which you will be just wearing. He's
Okay.
partnershiped with Oakley and he's built a glass. Already he has partnership with Ray-Ban and he has built a glass
Okay.
which will be able to visualize the environment such as a virtual reality.
Yeah.
It's a complete smart glass with Oakley he has tied up. So when you are getting these kind of information, it's not just an information just for wondering how you can buy that glass. Of course, we can buy that glass and use it. It's an thing which is invited by Mark. But since you have that interest in an area, how you are going to have a full stack development, just get inside these areas, deep dive, and just learn everything.
That's right.
Learn how these signals are going to work, how these things are going to connect, how you can take that and you can make it to an application in a front end, how that can be accessed in a back end. I see a lot of potential in you so that you can work with all these things and you can strengthen your skill set so that you
Yeah.
can land up in any type of job, either if it is an application development and either a device development and hardware development, networking, or OS, or embedded systems. There are multiple vast area where you can get these things you received from your end. So when you are receiving these many things as inputs, and if you are segregating everything and learning this technology, who might know what will happen in the future? Like a
Yeah. Sure.
multiple robot might be prepared, but the processing of that visually or its audio signals or its artificial brain signals might require a developer who is interested to work and who will be expertise in everything.
Yeah.
Even you might land up there and your CTC might be in an exponential growth. You might not even have thought of that kind of numbers. So you might end up in an area where which will be in your field of interest and in your field of earning also. So you can take these kind of opportunity in your future. So currently
Okay.
for that you should shape up your current things, and you have to learn these things out of interest, not just like I am suggesting you, or not just
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
needed for
Yeah.
your job.
I
If you
got
learn it
understood.
with interest, you can surely excel everything. So that's how you have to split down your career. Like that's how I splitted mine, and I grew up in one area and I made a switch here. So when
Yeah.
you are growing up in an maybe an another 2 3 years of time, when you are going for a switch at that particular time, you can figure out everything which is possible and you can make that big switch.
Yeah.
So that big switch will be a very important thing for you. You can end up in an robotic engineer, you can end up as an this Neuralink also in any different areas which, if you strengthen up your front end and back end and this networking and embedded systems, that will be very useful for you. So
Sure. Sure.
I am not from that kind of background, but I just
Okay.
have a high level thing for you. So if you want more detailed explanation, you just get on to the online sources which is available. If you want
Yeah,
further information also, just reach out to me. I can might be reach out to my friends and maybe arrange another session on those things, which how it currently works and how are the languages used and that things, because I haven't named anything specifically for that. If you want me to name everything for that, I'll just reach out and I'll have a follow up session.
sure, sure, sure.
So that's that area. So anything else like you wanted to know more about my experience and the stuff in the Python area or API areas?
Mm, actually, what made you to give a career switch over automation Python developer to business analyst?
Yeah, that's actually a very good question. So as I mentioned, like I was an developer. I just not only perform a developer's
Okay,
role. My role is diversified. I act as an project manager at one place. I act as
oh,
a team lead at one place. I act as a QA. I used to do testing. I used to prepare Jira scripts. I used to record each and every test script, test execution. I perform the SIT, which is the support engineers testing, and which will be the UAT, user access testing. Everything will be done and that will be deployed to production. So once it is
okay.
going to production, I'll be acting as a support engineer. I'll be supporting the people who are onboarding to the new
Yeah,
automation.
yeah.
So you see,
Okay,
my role is not a very standard constant role. I'm not a developer who just receive inputs and I just convert it into an code. Like if it is in that case, I would not have a diversified exposure to various regions. So once I had diversified experience and exposure to various roles, I wanted to streamline my role into one particular area. So that one particular area was project management. So when I came into this project management area, I don't know how to proceed further with that time. So I just reached out to Vignesh and he just guided me like, this is a field of interest you have and this is an narrow area, you look into it. And when you are going into this path, business analyst will be a good call. And moving forward, you can see yourself in the management industry. And I was interested to move on from a technical area to a non-technical area. So I preferred non-technical and I had interest and I had exposure. So all aligned into one particular area and I pushed it into a new one. So that's how I ended up becoming a business analyst.
actually, that's really good hearing that. As you said, you're from mechanical background. Then you just went to the development. Then after that, you just now you're managing a business with lots of a number of technical skills too. So that's
Yes.
really a good.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the appreciation. So anything else that you would like to ask me? Like you want technical things you want to ask or any other
Yeah,
queries
it's
which you
how
have?
could wait a minute. How could overcome difficulty that we have been faced over learning DSAs,
In which phase?
DSA like data structure
Data
algorithm.
structure algorithm. Okay. So first of all, whenever you have a solution, like whenever you want a solution, someone wants a solution from you. Firstly, what they will ask for you is the logic, the core logic.
Yeah,
So
how,
whenever you are writing an algorithm based upon the dependency with any data structure, with in anything you which you are involved, and any language you take, it can be in Java or it can be in Python or whatever language you take, they'll give you the problem statement. They will give you the
yeah,
process. They'll give you it end to end. I want this. I face this problem. I want this to be done. So what, as an DSA person, what you could face as a difficulty is to understand the solution. So how I'm going to prepare the solution, how I'm going to access this, how I'm going to fix the problem, how I'm going to give the results they want. So to overcome that, what we have to do is first understand the process clearly, understand the manual process, understand the problem which they are putting, and understand the new requirement, whatever it might be. If it is a process which you are going to automate, or if it is a new area where you are going to give an innovation, or if it is a broken problem where you are going to give the solution, or improvising that area, you need to first understand the process clearly.
okay,
If you understand the process and if you're able to frame a document starting from how I am going to address this problem, how I am going to approach this solution, how the results will be. If you're able to write down the whole problem or the process or that particular innovation or the breakage, and if you are able to write it down itself, you are halfway through the solution. Now you choose the tool, and then you go on with the feasibility, either if it is feasible with that particular tool, how we are going to use that solution. Go with the feasibility analysis, then gather the requirement, get the details, each and every details which is required to complete this end to end. Once you have all the details handy, then you prepare the solution. Most of them, what they do is, if I give a solution, if I want a solution, if I want a problem to be addressed, immediately they'll go, okay, they'll take their keyboards, they'll roll up their
Yeah.
sleeves, they'll start
Yeah.
typing.
Typing. This is
I'll
my
be like,
this is my answer. This is I need this
yeah,
solution. So give me method.
why you are doing that? First you understand, you first question them, understand the requirement, understand the problem, identify the solution, check if that is first feasible. If you take everything, you start typing everywhere and you go and say, this server is not unreachable, this server is completely unreachable,
Yeah.
this data is not flowing, I'm not able to connect with this particular application, this application do not have APIs itself.
Yeah.
If you are ending up in that situation, once you develop 2 months of time and 1 month of time your delivery timeline is achieved, how will you tackle that? That's not an ideal approach itself. But if you are listing down everything and if you are writing down the solution clearly.
Yeah. Hello, Ramesh.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah. 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 You're right.
Okay, yeah, in between did I break?
No. 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 You're fine. Right. Right. Go on. Carry on.
Okay. So if I'm able to write the solution, and if I'm able to figure out the approach and clear almost all the risks before I take the solution itself, then that's itself an half solution for me. The chances of
Yeah.
risk is very low. Now if I write any algorithm, or if I write anything else, or if anything logic is written, I can reframe everything as a core logic. I know my path, and if anything is breaking in between, I can reframe everything. So if these are the things which you take into account, requirement is gathered, the feasibility is analyzed, the gap is addressed, the risk is identified and already covered, all level of access has been addressed, and if you are able to do the successful implementation, the core logic is very simple and you will be able to drive the solution. That's what we expect from a developer. Instead of
Yeah.
just you start with the first go itself, I'll be very happy that if you are starting with the first go, and if you are going on with an approach where you will be ending up in an area much earlier than if I give you 3 months time, and if you are coming up with 1 month, I'm very well to go with that. But if you are taking that risk, immediately rolling up your sleeves and starting your development, you are the one who is very prone to a risk area. At that 1 month of time, if you come and ask me, I want this, I want that, this is not doable, this might not be undoable, this might not be
Yeah.
reachable, that will be a very great problem for me.
See,
So
yeah.
this is how you need to approach a solution when you are a DSA specialist.
Okay.
So these are the high possible chances of difficulties which you could face. You could, if you address this in this solution approach, it will be very easy for you to get the solution done on time or even before time. You will also
Sure.
be very innovative, and you will also be getting appreciation from your clients or with your manager or with your leadership or anyone.
Sure. Sure. Thanks for the information.
Yes.
Yeah. That's it for me.
So yeah, and I also see a very great potential in you, and you are a very good technical guy. And the projects which you have done, the past three projects, even the delivery project which you could see, the project where you bridge the gap, the innovation which you have brought in finding that location for the ones who is searching. If everything is very much of a technical part and you have addressed it very clearly, you can choose the technical part and you do have interest in that. Learn new things
Sure.
and always feel free to reach out to Vignesh, and
Sure. Sure.
he is a very potential guy, and he can give you solution from every background. Whenever
Yeah.
you will be able to have a doubt in process or in technical point, anything, he'll be able to give you the solution, or he'll be able to arrange you with the right guy who will give you the solution.
Yeah,
So
actually, he just told me that there is a guy who is expert in your field itself, like Python Dolphin. So I would arrange an meeting with him. It would be much more better for your getting information to lead us path away.
yes, he do has a lot of good networks. So
Yeah,
feel free to reach out to him. And if you want
Sure,
any
sure,
details, maybe you can reach out to Vignesh, and he can also set up for a follow-up session with me, or with anyone else which you want to have an things
sure,
details
sure,
of doubt clarification. Everything is very advisable for you.
sure,
So
sure.
all the best for your new adventure which you are going to go on to the next couple of months. And stay confident, and all the best for your future.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I had a very good time connecting with you. Look,
Myself too.
looking forward to see you shine.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye bye.